computer. And all right. Okay, Sky. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Got it recording. So tonight, hold on. Make sure everybody's muted. Okay, tonight we're gonna talk about like being stuck, being in that struggle zone. I kind of feel like that's the theme that's been going on here with M's challenge today. And I feel like this has been a rough month for a lot of us, even for myself. I'm not sure what it is. But this is the first month that I feel like I've struggled a lot. I know a lot of you have struggled. So I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about like just moving past that and staying consistent in your game and not letting those horrible thoughts and doubts like creep into your head. So I'm just going to kind of share with you guys, and then Christine, you can jump in whenever you feel like you want to share something. But I'm just going to kind of share like kind of what's been going on with me this month, things that I've been struggling with, and things that I, have to force myself and push myself to do every single day because of it, so that I don't, because you don't want to fall off where you're like, shit, I haven't posted in a week. I haven't done self-development in a week, because it's a lot harder to pick yourself up from a couple of hours or even a day than it is like a week. Because then a week becomes 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks becomes 3 weeks. And then you're like, oh my gosh, what happened? What did I do? This month, they talk about summer being like a slow season for network marketing. And I've never really experienced it until this month. So me and Christine were talking a few minutes ago about how it's the end of summer. So a lot of people are taking vacations and, getting ready for school to start back up and maybe spending more time with their kids. And because I don't know if you guys noticed, but we were talking in our leader chat that the interactions this weekend like completely fell off. A lot of us were going from like 50 likes and 30 comments to like nothing. Even though we were interacting and talking to people, the interactions just like fell off completely this weekend. And so I feel the Facebook algorithm has changed again, and I'm trying to find out a little bit more information about how, but it just like completely fell off. And I feel like a lot of people were maybe like cramming some stuff in this past weekend, and they just weren't, worried about what was on social media. But one of the things that did help with that, just so next time if anything like this happens, in the evenings is always a good time to post, because even when people are on vacations or they're busy doing stuff, in the evenings when people are decompressing and slowing down, they're on social media. They're kind of just scrolling through and looking through things. So the evening is always a really, really good time to post, regardless of what is going on. And I noticed that my interactions started jumping up a little bit. So this month has been really hard for me. I have not signed anybody. I've had lots of, oh, I'm going to do it Tuesday. Oh, I'm going to do it next Wednesday. Oh, I'm going to do it Monday. Oh, I'm going to get your sample, Tuesday. And you follow up and it's just dead air, and that can really like mess with your mindset if you let it. And so I've had to constantly like just keep telling myself, like, I've done my self-development and reading books, but I myself just felt stuck. And I share this with you guys because I want you guys to know that we get stuck too. Leaders get stuck and are like, shit, what do I need to do? What do I need to change? The important thing is to always be open to learning and to change what you're doing, whether it's what time you're posting, how you're posting, what you're putting in your stories, what you're going live about, what time you're going live, are you interacting with people when you are live, Are you replying to people's comments when they post? Like, there's little things that you can do to kind of to boost stuff up. And when I was stuck, I took the pressure off of me. I was just like, I can't even think about what I'm doing. I'm just going to socialize. And I went into groups and I was having conversations. I was opening up to new people. I added some new friends that I really had a lot in common with, and we started talking, and I just took the pressure of the business completely off. I was like, I'm not even concerned about signing someone or getting someone to join. I just need to find the fun in this again. And that is what turned it around for me, is just being, because it is social media and we tend to get caught up in how many people we've brought in, who's signing as customers, who's getting sample packs. And we tend to like become a robot almost. And I feel like sometimes you just need to bring it back to the basics and remember what we're doing. We're changing people's lives. We're learning people's stories and how we can help them and building those relationships with them. And that really, really helped me to find my passion for it again, because I just felt stuck. I felt like I was stressing so much about getting people samples, and then, I'm going to, pay for a sample Monday, and then Monday comes and then it's crickets, and then this person's going to sign as a promoter and then it's crickets, or I changed my mind, or, whatever. And you just like, you feel like, what am I doing wrong? And sometimes you're not doing anything wrong. Sometimes you just need to take a step back. And there's been times where I've taken a step back and I'm like, I'm not even messing with social media. I'm going to read a book, or I'm going to crochet. And, and that's kind of how, like, I know a lot of you saw my crochet picture because it went insane. I was not expecting it, but I ended up getting like 15 orders from new people that I haven't talked to. And then they started asking me about the business. So I feel like when you take the pressure of the business off of you, it's so much easier to have that conversation. And then people, they can feel that. They can feel when you're really talking to them and you're sharing your passions with them. And then they're like, I had this girl that voice messaged me this morning, and she was like, I freaking love you. I love your journey. I love what you stand for. I love your positivity. I love everything about you, and I have to know what you're doing. So sometimes it's just a matter of taking that pressure off and just talking to people for the fun of talking to people and learning about people and learning their story. We're all going to get stuck. And I know a lot of you guys have felt stuck this month. Consistency is the key to success. It's not going to be easy every day. It's not going to be customers flying at you and promoters flying at you and just easy peasy all the time. Like, this is hard work. And it comes down to, even when you're having a bad day, you are still doing you. You are still working your business. You're still doing your self-development. You're doing your affirmations. You're posting your stories. You're taking your products every day. You're still doing you every single day, because I promise you, even when you don't know it, even when you don't think it, people are watching you, and they're watching to see if you're going to fall off. Because people, it's sad to say, but people are like, she's going to fail. She's going to quit. And I'm watching her. But the more you're consistent, the more you do it every single day, they're going to keep watching and keep watching. And then those people are going to come to you and be like, you know what? In the beginning, I didn't think you were going to stick with it. I didn't believe this shit. I was skeptical as hell. But I've watched you for 6 months. And you have not stopped. People watch that stuff. You can't fall off for a week, get back on for a day, fall off for a week, get back on for a day. You have to just, and that's why we talk about self-development, because it's so important. You have to have a thick skin in this company. I know a lot of you see the big vision, and this is more than just working for 3 months and getting a couple good paychecks. I mean, you're building a legacy, you're building an empire, something that that will be your income for years upon years upon years. That takes time. If you go out and build a brick and mortar business, you can't work it for 3 weeks and be like, oh, well, I only got 5 customers, I'm done. brick and mortar businesses take years. You know, I think it's like 85% of brick and mortar businesses, like little boutiques and stuff, they aren't making a profit within the first 3 to 5 years. It's after that that they start seeing an income. So with network marketing, you can do it a lot faster, but it's still hard work. You have to do it every day. You have to pour into yourself every day. You have to pour into other people. You have to talk to people. You have to share your story. You have to share who you are, what you stand for every single day. It's just so important. You can't, I know it's not easy, and I know we all have those bad days, but it's about how many times you pick yourself up. If you fall down 50 times, I want to see you stand up 51 times. And I've done this. I speak from experience because I've been doing this for almost 2 years, you all. And I have not stopped. I have not given up. I didn't promote or rank or anything with my last company. I did nothing. I think I did $300 in sales in an entire freaking year. I now, have promoted with this company, and we've done, as a team, we've done almost $20,000 in team sales, y'all, in 6 months. That's insane to me. That's a huge accomplishment. Yeah, I may not be a 40K leader or 80K leader yet, but to go from only $300 in sales in an entire year with a company to being with a company for 6 months and doing almost $20,000 in team sales, that is huge. Okay, we're not done. We're still going. We're still pushing. There are going to be slow seasons. There's going to be slow months, but you have to keep going. You have to keep pushing. And for those of you that have people under you, some people get really stressed out because they're like, well, this person isn't working. I've tried helping them, or they're posting, like commercially, or they're doing this. Your job is to teach them the information that you've been taught. And then that's it. You can't go into management mode. You can't be, hold their hand every step of the way. You teach them what you know. You let them know that you're always there for them. But in the end, they have to do the work. I've had instances where promoters have come to me and been like, well, how much are Black Labels? Okay, sweetheart, you've been in it for 2 months. You can go in your back office and find that information. What do our products do? Okay, go into Cloud Office or the Lavelle app. There's ways of finding this stuff out. You can't hold their hand forever. You know what I mean? My enroller was Katie Panetta. She grew so freaking fast. She wasn't able to be there for me. But I didn't quit. I wasn't like, fuck it, I'm done. Like, I can't get any questions answered. I found the shit out for myself. So I don't want you guys to get so down on yourself because you're like, this promoter isn't working or this promoter's not doing this. You need to understand that leading from the front is what is going to grow your business the most. Because for example, you guys see me. I don't preach all this stuff to you and then sit back and I'm just like, whatever, run my business for me. You guys see me go live. You guys see me share my story. You guys see me in my Facebook stories, my Instagram stories. You've seen the way I've posted. You've seen me change the way I've posted. Like, you've seen me grow throughout all this time. I lead from the front every single day. And that's what I want you guys to learn and understand as well, that you have no control over what people do. If they're not working as hard as you're working, keep moving. Bring in somebody else. Go find your other rock stars. I just don't want you guys to get so caught up in management mode, because that's not going to work. If you hold their hand too much, they're going to get used to that, and they're going to ask you for every little thing possible. And then you're going to drive yourself crazy answering all these questions that they can look up themselves. So Christine, do you want to pop in and say anything on the stuff that I said? I
want to touch a little bit on management mode, because that's something that I've found myself doing. So the biggest thing I'm actually today like this evening, just recently coming out of a slump. So it's still real fresh with me. I sat down and I really thought about it, and I was like, what am I doing different than I did last month, the month before? Because to be honest, since joining 8 months ago, I think I've maybe hit 2 or 3 slumps. And every time, I think about, well, what did I do the month before and the month before? And this time it was a little different because now I actually have a team under me, right? So before it was just down to me not posting or me not having the conversation. Here, really, it's been down to me worrying about everyone else's business. And in that same token, that's hurting my business. I'm still posting, I'm still having the conversations, I'm still creating the relationships, but I'm focusing on everyone else's business besides mine. And I know it seems like once you get this team under you, you have to cater to everyone's needs, and that's not the case, you guys, because once you do that, you're taking away from your business potential. You are taking away time and money essentially. And I know we don't really look at the money aspect of it, but I mean, we all join for a little extra income, and you're taking away from that when you're starting to worry about someone else's business. And that's not to be mean or to be harsh, but sometimes you can't babysit them. They have the hustle page, they have our page. The hustle page in general is gold. We wanted our page so that we could be like a little family, and I feel like we go more in depth than the hustle page does. So they've got the resources. They've got the cloud office. The cloud office is for all the greens. If you know personality colors, greens are very detail oriented, and the cloud has it all. The only thing that you should tell them is, hey, to find this, it's here. To find this, it's here. Other than that, like you can't sit there and say, oh, Sally Sue's not working her business, so I'm going to go push her and leave my business over here, because it just doesn't work like that. And you're not going to go anywhere. And then before you know it, you're going to be burnt out, and you're going to be one of those people that say, I worked my ass off and it didn't do anything. Luckily, our comp plan, pays you for what you do, but, it does feel like that sometimes. Sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm doing all these things and I'm getting nothing in return. And that's when you need to really sit there and focus. What are you doing? If there's something that you need to change it. Don't be scared of change. In this business, you need to be ever growing. I mean, think about social media when it very first started. Do you think that if someone got on social media 5 years ago to run a business, they would be running it the same way now? No. So if there's something that's not working, change it. 9 times out of 10, when you feel stuck, you can go back and pinpoint the exact moment that you started feeling stuck and realize what's different from that day versus now. So it all just comes down to knowing yourself, knowing your worth, and knowing when something isn't working.
Yeah, I love that. It's if you guys have not watched the live that Ashley Casey did with Amanda Brashear, I believe it's on Ashley Casey's personal page. It is freaking phenomenal, because Ashley Casey and Amanda Brashear it took them both longer than 3 years to get to 200K. And they talked about how, they cried. They had mental breakdowns. They wanted to quit. They would go months without signing somebody, but they never, ever, ever gave up, and they kept pushing through those hard times. And I know I tell you guys this all the time, just push through the hard times, work through the challenges. But these two made it, and I feel like we see some of the leaders on our team, like Katie Panetta, she went 200K really fast. Megan built really fast. Ariel built really fast. And we start having that comparison game. And it's really easy to get stuck in that. But these two girls, they are 200K leaders, and it took them over 3 years. You know, I think it even took Ashley Casey like 6 or 7 months to even go 4K. And then she was stuck at 12K for like forever. So that's a really good live to watch, because it kind of puts things in perspective for you. And that's kind of what I always put in my head. I can give this 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't go get a corporate job that is going to pay me what I get now. And to even like make it even, you know, further when I'm a 200K leader or an 80K leader. Like, you can't go work a corporate job for 5 years and expect $20,000 a week. Nobody's going to pay you that. So I see him. Nobody's going to pay you that. So like, for you, is this worth putting in 5 years and giving it your all? If it takes you that long, I mean, honestly, that's not a long time, you guys. In 5 years, I'll be 40. I'm good with making $20,000 a week when I'm 40. Like, I feel like I'm the oldest person on this team, but I just totally blasted my age. But you know what I mean? Like, in 5 years, if I'm 40, pulling in $20,000 a week and taking vacations and traveling the world and stuff, I think it's worth it. And that's what I need you guys to, Yana, you're so sweet. That's what I need you guys to understand. When you get stuck like that, what always pulls me out and helps me is the big vision, the vision of starting my foundation, the vision of having no financial worries whatsoever, the vision of giving back to people just because I want to, the vision of paying somebody's layaway off and me not having to stress about it. You know, you have to see the big picture, the huge vision. You'd be 37. God, Jamie, I would not have thought you were in your 30s at all. But just like, remember that big vision. Remember why you started this. You know, we all have different stories. We all have different backgrounds. We've all come from different things. I absolutely loved M's challenge that she did today, and seeing everybody's like before Thrive and after Thrive struggle. You know, I came from being very, very low, losing my husband. Right after I lost my husband, I lost like 2 or 3 friends to addiction as well. And then living on disability and working 2 and 3 jobs and being in an abusive relationship after abusive relationship and not being able to pay for water or electricity. And, you know, I remember that girl because I feel like it's important because of what she went through and what she struggled through. I'm the person I am now because of it. I don't know if I would be passionate and loving and kind and all these different things and be able to appreciate what I have now if I didn't go through those struggles. So it's almost like I embrace the struggles that I go through now because I know I'm going to grow through them. It's going to make me a better person. And I'm going to be able to appreciate being a 40K leader, because I remember how it was to struggle as a 4K leader. I remember what it was like to struggle before I became a leader. So I just want you guys to not get so stuck that you're like, shit, what happened? You know? And like, I mean, I have struggled so bad this month. I don't know if you guys see, like, I've had health issues. I was in horrible pain last week. I'm like, I am the worst leader ever. Like, I have not reached out to my girls. Like, I was in so much pain, and like, there's nothing I can do about it right now because I have to get private insurance, and that's like $400 a month for me and my boys. So I'm going to start paying for that next month. And that's been like a huge stress on me. And so I've been juggling so many different things. But if you have noticed, I never stopped posting. I never stopped being in my stories. I never stopped doing my self-development, my affirmations. And I've also sat back and reflected on myself and been like, what have I stopped doing? And I can tell you that it was so bad this month. I reached out to Chloe and I was like, what am I doing wrong? I feel so stuck. I can't get out of this. And she was like, what were you doing before? And I said, you know what? I was getting up every morning at 6:30. I was reading my books. I was having that down quiet time. I was, doing my the manifesting, I was doing that 555 challenge every single week. And I stopped all of that. I started sleeping until 9, 10 o'clock. I've been staying up till 12, 1 o'clock every night. I haven't been sleeping well. My stress level has just been like through the roof this month. And I had to sit back and be like, okay, I need to get my ass in gear. I need to get back into the routine that I was doing because it was working, y'all. Like that was working for me. Getting up at 6:30 in the morning and working out. I've even stopped working out and working out and reading my books and having that quiet time of just like an hour of hardcore grind first thing in the morning put my mind in such a wonderful place that I could like clean, and then I would have conversations and I would do other things and have conversations, and my mind was in such a good place that if somebody said, no, I can't do it right now, I didn't like beat myself up over it. So sometimes it's important just to take a step back and reflect on yourself and be like, how can I make this better? What routine works better for me? Because honestly, I feel like it's all about your mindset. And if you can just figure out a way to keep your mindset like on 100, like, how great you feel on Thrive. If you can just get your mind on 100, like your body is, I feel like I can take on anything. But you have to figure out what that is for you. Whether, because some mornings for me is jamming to 80s music. Sometimes it's a podcast. Sometimes it's working out. Sometimes it's reading or journaling. There's so many different things that puts my mind in a really good space. And you also have to understand it doesn't have to be the same every day. I'm the type of person, I get bored. Like I can't wake up, read the same book, write the same affirmations down, do the same workout every single day. Like I will not stick to it. I have to have a variety, even though like I don't have to have a variety with my shakes. I'm still strawberry hardcore like every day, but I have to change it up. And for me, it's in my mood, I can't do the same workout every day. People ask me all the time, what's your workout regimen? And I'm like, it's whatever I feel like doing. It may be yoga. It may be doing a shit ton of squats. It may be running up and down my stairs so I can sweat really good. It may be going to the gym. I can't do the same thing every day. My self-development may consist of jamming to 80s music and cleaning my house and just singing and acting crazy. Or it may be sitting down and taking notes on a really good Zoom and just soaking up a lot of information. And maybe that's something that you can do. I can't do the same thing all the time. It gets redundant. It bores me to death, and I never stick to it. Let me pull up the chat. Does anybody have any questions? I just felt like a lot of you guys came to me this month about struggling and being stuck, and I know I've been stuck, and I've really wanted to just talk about that and tell you guys that it's okay to feel stuck and maybe take a step back, maybe look at what you're doing. And I just saw Sky's comment here about, and it may be, we didn't have the $25 credits this month. This was the first month we haven't had them in 2 months. The last 2 months, we were kind of rocking it and killing it. And this was the first month that we didn't have any like crazy promos going on. So it's like you're having to grind 10 times harder, which is okay. But you just have to be aware of like what's going on and, reflecting on yourself, reflecting on your business, making sure you're staying consistent. And, sorry, you guys, I get distracted. I read these comments and I'm like, But does anybody have any questions? I just wanted to share, that being stuck is okay. I know it's a slow month. We just need to push through it. Keep doing what we're doing. Don't give up on yourself. You guys all have so much potential that, I mean, I fantasize. It's gonna sound weird, but I fantasize about like you guys promoting or crossing something off on your dream board and just seeing your excitement and seeing how accomplished you feel and stuff like that. Like that's what I dream about. Y'all may think I'm weird, but I love you guys to death. I swear you guys are like family to me. I would do anything and everything for any of you. I would take off my last shirt that I own to give to you all. I absolutely adore you all. And I just want to see you guys succeed and not give up, because I promise you, if you don't give up, so many dreams are going to come true for you. It's been almost 2 years for me, you guys. And like Katie says, people say she went 200K in 5 months, but she didn't really. To her, it took her 5 years to get to the top of the company. She's worked network marketing for 5 years. And you have to think about that, especially those of you who are new to network marketing and who have never done network marketing before. It's a lot of work to build that network, to build that trust, to build those relationships. And I just want you guys to believe in yourself, because you all are extraordinary individuals and have so much to offer this world. And I just want you guys to know I love you. Christine, do you have anything else you want to say?
I want to touch a little bit on taking a step back. We always preach about self-development and all that. And like Felicia just said, like, it doesn't have to always be the same thing. And there's been times where like, I don't post all day. I don't have conversations all day. But I spend the whole day working on me. I spend the whole day, focusing on myself, and then I come back in the evening. And like Felicia said, evenings are a really good time to post anyway. So if you wake up and you're in a weird mood, just focus on yourself. Take a step back for the day. And then once you feel like there's something that you either want to get across to someone, like say you want to be that little ray of sunshine in someone's life, or say you just think of the most perfect thing that you can post, or whatever the case is, like take the step back during the day and then come back at night and hit the ground running. Because at the end of the day, it's not about how many times you post a day. It's not about how many conversations you have in the day. Should you try to maximize it? Yeah, of course. At the end of the day, like the more you put out there, the more you're going to get back. But you have to do it in the right way. You can't just post something to post. You can't just talk to someone to talk to someone. You have to make sure that what you're doing is with the right intentions. And if it takes you all day to get there, then so be it. I would rather see you guys make one good post or have one good conversation a day versus throwing up 6 half-ass posts a day, having 10 half-ass conversations in a day. So just know that it's about quality, not quantity.
Yes, I love that. Something else I wanted to say real quick is it's a little bit about putting pressure on yourself, but when you take a step back, like when you show who you are and you're just like, you're not even thinking about the business. You're just like, this is my life. This is who I am. This is who I stand for, just sharing who you are without any other clutter. You get a lot more interaction with that, I feel like. Like I said, when I stepped back and I was just having normal conversations with people and I wasn't putting any pressure on customers or promoters, I was having real genuine conversations, and I got crochet orders out of it. I got sample orders out of it. I have people asking me, oh my gosh, I love your story. Like, I want to know who you are. I want to have a conversation with you, and building all these new relationships, and they're sharing my story with their network, and then their network is sharing their story with other people. And it's just kind of been like this domino effect. Have I made an order yet? No, but I have built all these new relationships. I wrote, because I've started writing down people I talk to, not just people I message, but people who I'm having back and forth conversations with. And I think in one day, I ended up having like 15 conversations. And I was just like, I don't think I've ever done that before. And that was nothing about the business, y'all. That was just me talking to people with no pressure and building these relationships. And then, like, it was coming to me with crochet orders and like, oh, I love your story. Can I, will you talk to my mom? She's going through this. Or will you talk to my cousin? She's going through this, and I feel like she can relate to you. And it was just like an outpour of stuff. And something else, when you guys get stuck, like Christine was talking about, like posting, there's times where I know I need to post and I don't want to post because I don't feel it in my heart. I will go to Pinterest and I will look up quotes, and I'll look through quotes till something hits my heart. And then I'm like, oh, I love that quote. And I'll just go post the quote. I don't take a picture of the quote, but I'll just go post the quote and just leave it at that, and that's uplifting to people. I get a lot of reactions out of those when I just post a quote and not the picture. And so I don't have to, what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't feel forced because you're looking at quotes, something speaks to your heart and you're like, oh my gosh, or I'll see a quote and it just like, it opens something in me and I'll go live and talk about it. Today I went live about just growing through what you go through, because it's something that's really been on my heart the past couple of days, with being stuck, with struggling, with knowing some of you are struggling, just certain things that I've gone through this month. And it was on my heart and I wanted to talk about it. So just know there's different ways to get like post ideas. If you're feeling stuck, don't ever force it. But I feel like when you take that pressure off, the real you, the quality you does come out a little bit more, and you can build and talk to people a lot easier. So that's all else I had to say. So I didn't want to keep you guys on here too long. I know it's been about like 45 minutes, but I hope this was helpful. I hope it pumped you up, guys, a little bit. You're not the only ones. And I really that's why I wanted to share this with you guys, because I want you guys to know that even leaders struggle. We go through slow seasons. We have to tweak what we're doing and change up different things. And, it's the same for us. And we're no different. We're just like you guys. We're grinding and pushing just as hard as you all are. Sometimes, sometimes you have no choice but to just like release it and put it in God's hands and be like, God, I'm trusting you with this. Like, I'm doing everything I can. And, it's up to you. And just believe in yourself and know you guys are worthy and beautiful and can do anything you put your minds to. So I love you guys. I hope you guys have a good Monday evening, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, you guys. Good night.
Bye.